Instead of manually creating OneNote pages for the start of a new week, automate that shit. This automation will create a brand new OneNote page in a notebook section that you specify at the start of each week. In my OneNote notebook, I already have a section for each month of the year. If you're interested in learning how to automate this, watch this video tutorial. At the end of the video, I'll show you how to create a page based on an existing page template so you don't need to copy and paste your template from one page to another. In PowerAutomate, create an instant cloud flow. Give your flow a name and select the manually trigger a flow action. This will make it easy to trigger the flow and test it out while you build it. When it's ready to go, replace this trigger with the recurrence trigger. First, add a compose action. Use this compose action to get the Monday date of the current week. For that, you'll need an expression. Enter the UTC-now function. This will return the current UTC date and time. Next, wrap the UTC-now function in a day of week function. Wrap the day of week function in a sub-function. Place your cursor inside the opening bracket and add an int function. Enter a 1 inside the brackets of the int function. You can customize this number to suit your needs. If you want to return the Tuesday date, enter 2, Wednesday, 3, and so on. Place your cursor outside of the int function and add a comma. Lastly, wrap the sub-function in an add days function. Place your cursor inside the opening bracket and enter the UTC-now function and add a comma. The expression is complete. Run a test and make sure it's returning the correct value. Next, you'll want to format the date, unless you want your page name to be this. Add a compose action. Use this compose action to hold the name of your page. Insert an expression. Use the format date time function. Insert the outputs from the compose action above. Add a comma and single quotes, and enter the format you'd like your date to appear. For my pages, I'll enter this format. I'll also include a bit of text before each date. Run a test. The create page in a section action in PowerAutomate requires you to specify a notebook key and notebook section. Instead, I'll show you how to dynamically select a notebook section so you won't need to edit your flow. Add a scope action. This action is optional. I like to use scope actions to keep my flows organized. Add the Get Sections in Notebook action. Quick tip: when searching for OneNote actions in PowerAutomate, type OneNote in the search bar and select from the actions below. Select your notebook. Run a test. Copy the outputs from the Get Sections in Notebook action to your clipboard. Add a Parse JSON action. Insert the body from the previous action into the content field. Click Generate from Sample and paste the content from your clipboard. Press Done. Next, change this first type from Array to Object. Otherwise, your flow will fail. Add a compose action. Use this compose action to hold the name of your notebook section. The format of my notebook sections are month name and year. Insert an expression. Use the format date time function. Insert the outputs from the Monday date compose action above. Add a comma and single quotes, and enter the date format your sections appear as. Next, add a filter array action. Use this action to filter out the list of notebook sections and return the one that matches the output from the section name compose action above. Because the schema type has been changed from array to object, the output of the parse JSON action doesn't appear in the dynamic content list. Instead, you'll need to use an expression. Use the body function. Insert single quotes, and type in the name of the parse JSON action. Replace any spaces with an underscore. Add a question mark and square brackets. Insert single quotes and type in value. Add another expression here. Insert the item function. Add a question mark, square brackets, single quotes, and type in name. Leave this as is equal to and insert the outputs from the section name compose action above. Run a test. Confirm that the filter array has filtered out the section name that you've specified. Next, add a compose action to store the page's URL from the specified section. Insert an expression. Use the first function. Insert the outputs from the filter array action here. Place your cursor outside of the closing bracket. Insert square brackets and single quotes. Type in page's URL with a capital U. Lastly, add a create page in a section action. Select your notebook. For the notebook section, select Enter Custom Value. Insert the outputs from the page's URL compose action here. Unfortunately, this action doesn't allow you to specify a page name. OneNote page names are actually taken from the title of the OneNote pages. In order to name your page, you'll have to insert HTML into the page content field. Click this button to switch to code view. Paste the HTML code linked in the description box here. Replace this placeholder text with the outputs from the page name compose action. Run a test. Here in OneNote, a new page in the specified notebook section has been created. If you have a page template that you'd like to use, you can edit your flow to get the page content and insert it into the Create a Page in a Section action. Add a Get Page Content action here. Select your notebook, section, and page ID. Delete the page content and insert the body from the action above here. Run a test. The flow has automatically created a page with the page content from the template. There's a problem though. It's also taken the title from the template as well, which isn't what we want. Let's take a look at the outputs from the Get Page Content action. The page title is listed between the title tags here. You'll need a way to replace the title with your custom page title. For that, you'll need to use an expression. Add a compose action. Use the replace function. Insert the body from the Get Page Content here. Add a comma and single quotes. In this first part of the expression, enter the string of text you like to replace. Copy the HTML from the Get Page's content output and paste it here. You can also manually enter it in. Place your cursor after the single quote and add a comma. In the second part of the expression, enter the string of text you'd like to replace the original text with. In my case, I want to insert the outputs of the page name compose action wrapped in a title tag. For that, I'll need a concat function. I'll insert the opening title tag between single quotes. Add a comma and insert the outputs from the page name compose action here. Add another comma. I'll insert the closing title tag between single quotes. Remove the body dynamic content from here and insert the output from the compose action above. Run a test. One thing to note is that there are some limitations when it comes to using the Get Page Content action. On the left of the screen is my original template, and on the right is the page that was created with the flow. I'll demo the flow with a simple template. You can see in the newly created page, there just seems to be a bit more extra space between each section. Customize this flow to suit your needs. The last thing you'll need to do in this flow is replace the manually trigger a flow trigger with the recurrence trigger. Add the recurrence trigger. Change the frequency to suit your needs. I'm going to select week. Click on Show Advanced Options. Select your time zone. Select the days you'd like your flow to run. For my flow, I'd like to have a new notebook page created at the start of each week. I'll set this action to trigger at 6 a.m. What other OneNote workflows are you looking to automate? Let me know in the comments down below. If you found this video helpful and plan to create this automation, please consider giving it a like. Learn how to automatically create monthly OneNote sections in a notebook in this video. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on any new videos on how you can automate redundant tasks. Thanks for watching.